Hey, welcome to Following Science. I'm your host, Ritu Parle, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of the neurobiology of stress. So, what happens when our brains get stressed? How does it affect our bodies? Let's explore the intricate mechanisms behind stress and understand its profound impact on our health and well being in this episode. So, let's start with defining stress. Stress is a natural physical and mental reaction to life's experiences. Everyone expresses stress from time to time because anything from everyday responsibilities like work and family to serious life events such as new diagnosis, war, or the death of a loved one can trigger stress. Stress can be acute, a short-term reaction to a specific threat, or chronic, a consistent state of heightened alertness and tension over a prolonged period. Now, understanding stress is crucial because it significantly impacts our health, productivity, and overall well being. It's not just an emotional or psychological issue. Stress has a very real and measurable effect on our body and mind, and most of the time it's really negative. So, let's talk about our brain's response to stress. When we perceive a threat, our brain's alarm system, the amygdala, is activated. The amygdala sends a distress signal to the hypothalamus, the command center of the brain. The hypothalamus then communicates with the rest of the body through the autonomic nervous system, which controls involuntary body functions such as breathing, blood pressure, and heart rate. In response to stress, the sympathetic nervous system, a part of the autonomic system, triggers the flight or fight response. This results in the adrenal glands releasing adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones prepare the body to either confront or flee the threat. Adrenaline increases heart rate, elevates blood pressure, and boosts energy supplies. Cortisol, the primary stress hormone, increases sugar/glucose in the bloodstream, enhances the brain's use of glucose, and then increases the availability of substances that repair tissues. Now, while this response is vital for survival, problems arise when the stress response is activated too frequently or for too long. Now, let's talk about chronic stress and the brain. Chronic stress, or a constant state of stress, can have detrimental effects on the brain, like I mentioned before. Now, let's talk about some of these impacts in detail. So, let's go into the hippocampus, which is an area of a brain associated with memory and learning, and it's highly sensitive to stress hormones. Prolonged exposure to high levels of cortisol can damage and lead to the shrinkage of the hippocampus. This can impair memory and increase the risk of developing cognitive disorders. Similarly, chronic stress affects the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for decision making, planning, and self control. High levels of cortisol can impair its function, leading to difficulties in concentrating, making decisions, and controlling impulses. Moreover, chronic stress can lead to changes in the brain's structure and function through a process known as neuroplasticity, which we covered in one of our previous episodes. But going into this, while neuroplasticity generally refers to the brain's ability to adapt and reorganize itself, in the context of chronic stress, it can often result in negative changes. For example, stress can strengthen neural pathways associated with fear and anxiety, while weakening those related to reasoning and logic. Now, let's talk about some physical health impacts of stress. The effects of chronic stress aren't just limited to the brain. Stress can also have widespread effects on the body. Let's explore some of these in more detail. Firstly, chronic stress can contribute to cardiovascular problems. It can increase the risk of hypertension, heart attack, and stroke by keeping the body in a constant state of high alert, which overworks the heart and blood vessels. Now, the immune system is also affected due to stress. Chronic stress can suppress the immune response, making the body more susceptible to infections and illnesses. It can also trigger inflammatory responses, contributing to chronic inflammatory diseases. Digestion is another area impacted by stress. The gut brain connection means that stress can lead to digestive issues such as irritable bowel syndrome, acid reflux, and other gastrointestinal problems. It can also affect appetite, leading to weight gain or loss. Lastly, let's discuss some of the mental health implications of stress. Chronic stress is closely linked to the development of mental health disorders such as anxiety, depression, and post traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. The constant pressure and inability to find relief can lead to these feelings of hopelessness and helplessness, exacerbating these already existing conditions. Now, given the extensive impact of stress on our brain and body, effective stress management is essential. Let's discuss some of the healthy coping strategies and scientific insights into managing stress. First of all, exercise. Physical activity can reduce stress hormones and trigger the release of endorphins, the body's natural mood and elevators. Regular exercise can also improve sleep, which is negatively impacted by stress. Second, mindfulness and meditation. Practices like mindfulness and meditation can help to calm the mind and reduce the physiological effects of stress. These practices encourage deep breathing and mental focus, which can lower cortisol levels and promote relaxation. Third, healthy diet. Eating a balanced diet can support overall health and improve the body's ability to manage stress. Certain nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and vitamins can help reduce inflammation and promote brain health. Fourth, social support. Connecting with friends and family can provide emotional support and a sense of belonging. The social interactions can release oxytocin, a hormone that promotes relaxation and counteracts stress hormones. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. CBT is a type of psychotherapy that helps individuals identify and change negative thought patterns and behaviors that contribute to stress. It's been shown to be effective in managing stress and stress-related disorders. And lastly, sleep hygiene. Ensuring good sleep hygiene, such as maintaining a regular sleep schedule, creating a restful environment, and avoiding screens before bed, can improve sleep quality and reduce stress. Now, scientific research continues to explore and validate these techniques, providing evidence based strategies for managing stress. It's important to find out what works best for you personally and to incorporate these practices into your daily routine to build resilience against stress. Now, today, as we explored the intricate neurobiology of stress, we understood how it affects our brain and bodies, and we discussed effective ways to manage it. Now, stress is an inevitable part of life, and it's important to remember that. But by understanding its mechanisms and practicing healthy coping strategies, we can mitigate its negative impacts. As we wrap up this episode, I just want to thank you all for joining me on this journey through the neurobiology of stress. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with others who might benefit. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Following Science for more insights into the fascinating world of science. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. This is your host, Richard Raparo, signing off.